Assalamualaikum. Hello, my name is Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Gara, and today I'm going to present my individual assignment for MGT 361. Malaysia trade performance in December 2024. In December 2024, Malaysia saw its best trade performance of the year. The total trade value was RM 257.86 billion, which is 14.6% higher than December 2023. Export grew by 16.9% to RM 138.52 billion, while imports increased by 11.9% to RM 119.35 billion. This gave Malaysia a trade surplus of RM 19.18 billion, meaning exports were higher than import, an increase of 62.3%. Malaysia's biggest export market was Asian countries in Southeast Asia, followed by China, the USA, Hong Kong, and Europe. Export to the USA and Hong Kong grew to the most by 29.4% and 34.1% respectively. On the import side, Malaysia bought the most goods from Asian, China, the USA, Taiwan, and Europe. Imports from the USA and Taiwan saw large increases, especially the USA, which grew by 41.3%. The top export product was electrical and electronics product, worth RM 58.75 billion. This made up 42.4% of all export and grew by 27.8%. Other important exports included petroleum product, palm oil, and machinery. Only chemical export went down a little bit. Malaysia also imported a lot of electrical and electronic product, which is RM 42.63 billion, as well as machinery and petroleum. However, imports of petroleum and chemical dropped slightly. Overall, Malaysia ended 2024 strongly in trade, with more export than import, especially in electronics. This shows that Malaysia's economy remained competitive and active in global trade. For Malaysia's trade in 2024, for growth, change, and new records. Malaysia had an impressive year in 2024 when it came to trade. The country hit a new high with a total trade value of RM 2.879 trillion, growing by 9.2% compared to the year before. Both export and imports increased, but import grew faster, which led to a smaller trade surplus than usual, which is RM 136.88 billion, down to 36.4% from 2023. Export reached RM 1.508 trillion, up to 5.7%. A big part of this was thanks to electrical and electronic product, which made up nearly 40% of total export. Other top export products included palm oil and chemical, both of which saw solid growth. However, there were also a few weak spots. Export of petroleum product and machinery actually declined. Import grew even more sharply, hitting RM 1.371 trillion, a 13.2% increase. This jump was mostly driven by higher demand for things like electrical and electronic components, machinery, and metal products, which are essential for Malaysia's manufacturing and tech industry. The country is clearly investing in the inputs needed for high-tech production, even if that means spending more on import. Looking at where Malaysia trades the most, Asia remains the top partner, accounting for a largest share of both export and imports. The United States also play a major role, with export rising over 23% and imports surging by a huge 42%. Meanwhile, trade with China and Hong Kong saw slight decline in export, even though imports from China grew. So, what does all this mean? In short, Malaysia trade performance in 2024 shows that the country is actively participating in the global economy and stepping out in areas like electronic, agriculture, and chemical. The drop in trade surplus might sound concerning at first, but it also reflects growing domestic and industrial demand. This is also, we can say, as a sign of a busy, productive economy. To keep this momentum going, Malaysia need to keep focusing on innovation, expanding into high-value industries, and building strong relationship with its key trade partner. If it does, 2024 might just be the beginning of even greater achievement in the years to come. In 2024, Malaysia had a great year in trade. The country traded a total Rm 2.879 trillion worth of goods with the world, the highest ever. Export went up to by 5.7%, while imports increased even more by 13.2%. Because of that, the trade surplus, which is the extra money from exporting more than importing, was smaller than last year. Still, Malaysia ended the year with a solid Rm 136.88 billion surplus. The biggest export was electrical and electronic products like computer parts and chips. Other top exports were palm oil, machines, food products, and scientific tools. Malaysia also sold more to new countries like Kenya, Oman, and Namibia, which helped trade grow even more. On the import side, Malaysia brought in lots of goods for factories, especially machine parts and material for making products. This shows that industry in Malaysia are busy and growing. Malaysia's biggest trade partner were China, which stayed on number 1, Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia in the Asian region, and in the United States, which bought more from Malaysia than ever before. December 2024 was the strongest month of the year, with trade reaching Rm 257.86 billion. That was a great way to end the year. Looking ahead to 2025, Malaysia expects trade to keep growing. Electronics will still be in high demand, and the government plans to help business explore new markets. There may be some global challenge, but Malaysia is staying focused on ready. So beside me, this is a chart of Malaysia's monthly external trade performance from 2018 until 2024.